6 months ago, I was some random college kid in a dorm building this tool called Interview Coder. I might as well just quintuple down on every single crazy belief. All of a sudden, we have like over $1 million of enterprise revenue coming in. Now I feel like I'm at the center of the tech universe.
Imagine a voice in your ear. It analyzes every flicker of emotion, every hesitation. It calculates the perfect response, the precise emotional tone, the exact words to overcome an objection, to close a deal, to win a heart. A world where you are faster, smarter, better. A world where AI doesn't just give you information, it gives you the script to your life. But there's another name for this world, one defined by Harvard professor Shoshana Zuboff, who for years has issued a stark warning about what she calls surveillance capitalism. A new economic logic where your personal experience is secretly mined for what she calls behavioral surplus. This isn't a Black Mirror script, it's the real-world pitch for a Silicon Valley startup called Cluely, a company that has raised more than $20 million from some of the most powerful investors in the world. It forces us to confront a deep and unsettling paradox. How can a technology that promises an incredible leap in human productivity also represent one of the most profound threats to our privacy and authenticity? To understand this, you have to understand the founder, a 21-year-old rebel suspended from an Ivy League school who didn't just build a tool to cheat the system, he built a viral spectacle around it. This is the story of Cluely and the dangerous, brilliant, and unavoidable future of invisible AI. The story of Cluely begins not in a boardroom, but in a dorm room with a student named Roy Lee and a conviction that the very system designed to find the world's best engineering talent was broken. For decades, getting a top software engineering job at a company like Amazon or Google meant passing the technical interview, a high-stakes test that, in Lee's view, had developed into a game of memorizing programming riddles. He called it a stupid industry practice, and he decided to break it. He didn't write a blog post, he didn't start a petition, he built a weapon. He called it Interview Coder, an AI that could watch an interview screen, understand the question, and feed the user the perfect answer in real time. But Lee didn't just build the weapon, he fired it in public. He recorded himself using the tool to pass Amazon's technical interview, get the job offer, and then he posted the video for the world to see. The reaction was immediate and explosive. Amazon was furious. Columbia University initiated disciplinary proceedings, and when Lee, in another act of defiance, posted confidential documents from his hearing, they suspended him for a year. For most, this would be the end of the story, but this is where Roy Lee's story becomes the story of Cluely. Lee, who has described himself as having a gigantic chip on his shoulder, understood something most people don't. In the modern attention economy, controversy isn't a bug, it's a feature. He weaponized the scandal, the outrage became hype, the hype became headlines. The headlines became meetings with some of the most powerful venture capitalists in Silicon Valley. In one interview, Lee said bluntly,
Investors in Silicon Valley love seeing kids do crazy shit. They're eager to put their money in people who are making big bets. They saw the story and immediately, the interest was overwhelming.
He raised an initial $5.3 million, then a staggering $15 million Series A funding round led by a firm that knows a thing or two about disruption, Andreessen Horowitz. Interview Coder was rebranded as Cluely. Its mission, no longer just to break interviews, but to provide an invisible AI for everything. This ascent wasn't just funded by capital, it was fueled by philosophy. In a blog post announcing their investment, Andreessen Horowitz posed a question that perfectly captures this ethos. What if breaking the rules, they asked, was the unlock? It's a worldview taken to its extreme in the firm's now famous Techno-Optimist Manifesto, which makes the staggering claim, and I quote, "We believe any deceleration of AI will cost lives. Deaths that were preventable by AI that was prevented from existing is a form of murder." In this framework, privacy concerns aren't just obstacles, they are moral failures. And a tool that gives you a cheating advantage isn't a bug, it's holding back a future of unimaginable progress. To understand the power and peril of Cluely, we have to look past the controversy and see the machine itself. It doesn't just answer questions, it re-engineers the very environment of your attention.
Cluely shows up as a translucent window that appears over all other applications on your screen. I can either press listen or record with Cluely while in a meeting to have Cluely start picking up my microphone and system audio. As you can see, there's a real-time notepad that pops up that allows Cluely to suggest questions for me to ask or define things that I might need to find.
Philosopher Thomas Rickert calls this ambient engineering. Unlike older technologies that demand your focus, ambient AI works in the background. It anticipates your needs and subtly transforms the conditions around you to make certain choices feel more natural and salient. It operates on hyper-nudging and hyper-relevance. It's a system designed for a world where, as one study found, 71% of shoppers are completely unaware they are being guided by AI. A world where a single click or a moment's pause is captured, analyzed, and used to shape your next decision. This is not a simple tool like a calculator. This is a system that learns to play you. And this brings us to Shoshana Zuboff's warning. For decades, we've been told that if a service is free, you are the product. Zuboff argues that this fundamentally misunderstands the business model. You are not the product. You are the raw material. The real product is a prediction of your future behavior sold to the highest bidder. In this world, Zuboff warns, you are the abandoned carcass. An invisible AI that sees and hears everything you do is the ultimate expression of this logic. It turns the very context of your life, your meetings, your interviews, your conversations, into a monetizable asset. A constant, real-time feed for the prediction factory. Behind the venture capital manifestos and beneath the public outrage lies a surprising truth. A 2025 systematic review examining the real-world use of tools like GPTs in business came to a stark conclusion. It found what it called a significant knowledge gap. Its analysis revealed such a scarcity of peer-reviewed empirical studies that the report warns any strong claims about massive productivity gains are, in their words, premature. The utopian promises and the dystopian fears could both be built more on marketing hype than on verifiable scientific evidence. This is where the common comparison to a calculator breaks down. A calculator provides a single, verifiable answer to an objective problem. An AI assistant provides a probabilistic suggestion for a complex human interaction. One deals in certainty, the other deals in influence. This fundamental difference is at the heart of a major global disagreement. While Silicon Valley champions its move fast and break things ethos, Europe has taken a radically different path. The EU AI Act's Article 50 establishes a clear principle of transparency, mandating that users must be informed when they are interacting with an AI system. By its very design, an invisible assistant like Cluely stands in direct opposition to this framework. What one culture sees as innovation, another sees as a violation, a fundamental clash between disruption and precaution. The rise of invisible AI, embodied by companies like Cluely, presents us with a paradox. It offers a tantalizing promise, the power to augment our intelligence and unlock a new wave of human productivity, but it's built on a foundation that many find deeply unsettling. A business model that sees our lives as raw material and a philosophy that often values disruption over trust. It forces a new kind of self-awareness. It is no longer enough to ask if the information we see is true. We must now ask if the interaction itself is real. So here is the question that should keep us awake at night. In a world where the perfect answer is always available, what happens to the imperfect, authentic connections that make us human? The question isn't whether we can build this technology. We've already started. The question is what we are willing to become. So what do you guys think? Is this an inevitable step in human evolution? A tool that will unlock unprecedented levels of creativity and productivity? Or are we sleepwalking into a future where the very concept of authenticity becomes a relic of the past? I'd be interested to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Anyway, that's about it from me. If you did enjoy this exploration into the intersection of technology and society, feel free to subscribe. My name is Carlos, and you've been watching AI Comms HQ. I'll catch you again soon. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.